Alrighty then. Welcome to the Nut House. What is happening, everybody? It is Thursday. Certainly hope everybody had a great holiday. You spent time with your family and your kids and your good mamas and all that kind of good stuff. So certainly hope week's going good for you. It's getting hot, like HOT hot. At least in my city. I don't like humidity, and it's coming. You can feel it coming. Like the song, I can feel it coming in the air of night. That's what it feels like outside. So certainly go ahead and get a pool and go ahead and grab a cold one. I've got a wonderful recipe for a margarita that I was given today that I will be making over the weekend. I also have a new toy that is still in its box, and it is over there next to the TV that's in its box as well. And I will be opening that. That's my weekend project sort of thing. Gonna fire that up, see how it goes. So shout out to everybody that's here now, everybody that's in the chat that will be listening later. Also, possibly Saturday, about 1 o'clock Eastern time, I am going to do my crazy dating show because these women are supposed to be, there's women sending me questions in, and if I can get it up to about, get it up. If I can get enough questions up to about 20 to 25 questions, I will actually do a podcast on it. I've got 16. Gotta understand, women will ask the same stupid questions all the time. So after I filter those stupid questions out, I got 16 good ones, need 10 more. Get me up to about 25, get us up to 25. So join us Saturday if those questions come in, okay? Because closed mouths don't get fed, right? So, and a lot of women want to know why they're single. And I don't care if they're, you have to be 25 and up to listen, because if you're a woman beyond 34, 35, you need not worry about anything else. You are where you are. This is strictly for the women that are still what they would call in birth. They can, give birth without it being a late, because we live till we're 70. If you're a woman and you're giving birth at 35, 36, you're geriatric. I believe it's called geriatric pregnancy. So, but we're going to talk about that on Saturday, maybe. And of course, we'll do our normal morning podcast on Saturday, get caught up with some things. So, kind of breaking it in half here. So I'm doing a couple things today and then a couple things Saturday, because the whole thing with Comcast has come up. And so a lot of people want to know about Comcast Universal and how they may be getting into gaming, because if they come in, that's going to shift a lot of stuff. So, and they will have their own device. It will be extremely powerful. And so we'll talk about that Saturday morning. So you can find your picture, submit me to the dating show. No, I mean, it's just some questions. I mean, I talk to men. So these women that are submitting their questions, they're going to get their feelings hurt. That's all I can really say about this at this point in time. They will get their feelings hurt. So, but they want to know the truth. And here in this dojo that we got nothing but the truth, So number one reason why do men lie to you? Because they want something from you. Why does anybody lie? Why does a used car salesman say, "Oh, it's only been in one wreck, but it's been in three"? It only has 96,000 miles when they turn back the odometer, and it's really got 118,000. Just it is what it is. So so yeah, but that's a show that like I said, I usually talk to men, especially in Discord. But again, the women want to know, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if, again, they have to submit their questions. So, and they have until noon tomorrow to do that. Because you got to remember, we had Monday off, so this is a short week. And boy, it feels like it. It just feels like I have not been able to get the old stiletto moving this week. But I had some ribs over the weekend, and I had some chicken over the weekend. So So yeah, hold on. Ah, all right. Just wondering what that noise was. So yeah, but who is here in the chat? Nova Red Stars. Bonjour. Nova Red over there in the City of Lights. So what is going on? Quambo, what is happening? What's going on? Pedro Martinez. Rudy Legends in the house. So yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. Couple stories here. First things first. I want to talk about again. You got a bunch of moist ass fruit booty people out here talking about first party IP. Um, Realistically, we're 3 years into this generation, and Sony's top studios have put out their IP. San Diego has put out the baseball game. Santa Monica put out God of War. Gorilla put out what was the name? Gorilla put out Forbidden West, and they put out DLC, which is allegedly jaw dropping. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's allegedly jaw dropping. Naughty Dog, people got to remember, Naughty Dog, in was it 2022 or was it 21? They put out the Legacy of Thieves collection. You know, it was for PS-5, and which plays wonderful. And they put out The Last of Us. They put out The Last of Us TV show, which everybody loved, or people really liked. I shouldn't say loved. And they also put out the Last of Us remake. You see what I'm saying? Why don't you ever get your own Bonjour? Well, you're not from France like our wonderful Nova Red is. So, yeah. So you have to be from France. Everybody else just gets a hearty hello, you know, or a howdy. so, so their first party output is, you know, they're going into the second half of this generation. They have not fired all their shots because they're still making games. But what has happened again is there's a group of people who told you that this forget about what Sony said what their showcase was going to be. It was because it wasn't what they told you it was going to be. They are reeling from that. We looked at what Sony said the presser was going to be, and that's exactly what we got. But these guys told you it was going to be something totally different, and they're just sitting there rolling their, you know, they're shaking their head, and they can't believe it. And it's like, well, you know, I know a lot of people don't read. I mean, over here we do a lot of reading. So, and all you had to do was read what they said they were going to do, and that's exactly what they did. But you know, they were supposed to show this and show that, and then now it's almost to the point where it's now on the summer showcase, and I'm like, well, I expect to see the same thing I saw last year at the summer showcase. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they saw. You got to look at the facts here. Konami is making Silent Hill 2, or they farmed out whoever they farmed out their contract to. So it is not up to Sony to show that game. It is up to Konami and whoever they're partnered with. Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of people talking about this. The big information came out about that. They're still making that game. So, but again, that is Sony's money, and it was again, it's only going to be on PS5 and PC. So that was also confirmed, but it's it's still being made. You know, it had to be torn down and then rebuilt. But yeah, they still have Haven Studios and Firewalker. I mean, I'm not expecting to see anything from them for until mid next year, maybe, or maybe early next year because of the way the fiscal year ends. So, so Sergeant 12 saying that you're French that moved to Canada. Really? Well, isn't that no, that's a British. Isn't that a British property? Is it? Oh, it's French. I can't remember now. And I'm a geo global guy. I can't remember, is Canada British? Or is it French? Is it French? I can't remember now. Somebody refresh my memory. I'm old. So, um, you have this first party output, which to me, and you have Insomniac, which is on their 4th project for PS5. That is incredible. So I don't, but they all have different teams doing different things. And why well, I know why they're doing it is so that they can still, they can take your super chat money because, these simps out here tell you these things. And you got these other simps telling in the PlayStation community again, talking about these fake ass fanboys who are going to sit around and tell you, well, this is going on and that's going on. And look, this is like that big old lie about CD Projekt Red. That's one of the funniest things I've seen. Like, I didn't even want to talk about it. I'm like, this is simply not true. So that's why you didn't hear about it from me. I mean, I didn't say a word. I knew it wasn't going to happen. They speak British and French. They do? Really? Well, that's cool. Well, I guess you can get a bonjour as well. So what do you all do in Canada? Like, I want to go there, go to the Canadian Rockies. I guess you all hike, but and I know the fishing is good, but what else? I mean, I'm just asking. Like, what is there to do up there? Even the NBA left. I don't think there's an NBA team up there anymore. So, Jim Ryan told us to expect 2 games this year. That's about right when you do. Well, look at this year. This year, they have put out Forbidden West. They have put out friggin' they produced the Forspoken game. They've got Final Fantasy 16 coming. I mean, then you got the games that are on multiple platforms, like Fallen Order and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just silly at this point. At this point, I can see what's going on. And ain't nothing going on but a funky song, right? But at the end of the day, do not listen to these fanboys. I just don't know what to say anymore. I'm not here to, I can't make, okay, I'm going to recommend you don't listen to them. That's all I can say. I recommend it strong. You just stop listening to them because it's getting so bad. I mean, look, I was at, after I got off work today, I went, and first things first, it was brutally hot. I mean, I was hot walking home. But I went and got me a BLT because that's the way I move. And they had free Wi-Fi. So, of course, I took advantage. And I was listening to some people. It's just like, again, they're talking about the Summer Game Fest. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. This is why Chocolate Thunder has to get called out on you because, it is what it is. You're putting out what they want versus just enjoying the friggin' summer showcase. I'm going to enjoy it. It's like I'll enjoy the Xbox showcase. If you want to know what they're going to show, I'm excited. Hopefully we get Fable. Hopefully we get Forza. Hopefully we should because they're made by the same company, 2 different teams. We're getting Starfield. That's 3. And, my fingers are crossed for Hellblade and Stalker. So again, I'm fine whatever. It doesn't matter to me. So I think it's healthy to listen to those whom you disagree with. Do I think it's healthy? No, I don't. All right. I mean, you already know you disagree with them, so why keep listening? So not healthy. That's all I can say. Not healthy. Yeah, Fatal Mephisto is. He said there ain't nothing to do up there. So, yeah, Canada is America's attic. Ooh, that's a fatalistic way to look at it. I would say no. So, but okay. But I've never been there. I'm going. I am going. So, so maybe I'm supposed to go this year, but I may end up going out west to Idaho. So, because I like my fishing. So, Paul Game said Marlon's getting mad. I didn't know that because I don't listen to him. I mean, I don't know why he would be mad. The people that listen to him should be mad though, but hey, he's gaming media and he's just, I don't get it, So when somebody sent me that clip, we've been waiting for this for 2 years. It was something like that. I'm like, no, man, you've been waiting for 2 years, not everybody else. So, but again, you would think media, he would have looked at Sony's press release and said, oh, well, here's what they're going to do and be done with it. But he didn't do that. He made it into something else. So, and again, that's his choice. That is his choice. But again, it's your choice to listen to it. So that's all I can say about it. So then he got really angry to okay. Okay, I mean, what do you want me to do about it? I mean, like, what do you want me to do about it? Well, let's talk. Why did he get angry? I'm gonna guess because I haven't listened. Okay, I'm just guessing here. The reason why he is getting angry is because he told you all a bunch of stuff that turned out not to be true. And I'm gonna guess there's people finally calling BS. That's just me. I didn't listen though. So, and I'm just saying, okay, that's all I can say. All right. We actually read into the record what the showcase was supposed to be. And my question to you all was, isn't that it? What did you all see? Because it's lining up with what Sony said was going to be there. So, I mean, it's not Sony's fault that Marlon, and not just him, MBG, Foxy Games UK, NIXIS, I mean, all these guys, that corny MFer, all of them said you were going to get peanut butter and jelly, and you were going to get some other stuff on the side. They were going to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a bunch of strippers, all this kind of stuff. And none of that came true. You open up the door and Chocolate Thunder was there. That's what it was. They opened up the door and a bunch of people walked in and Chocolate Thunder was there. And we know about Chocolate Thunder, right? I mean, he got double life. He ain't getting out. And he told them guys that walked in there, they the best looking thing. They never. Now, some of them got their sentences commuted because they came out and apologized. Okay, fine. But some of them, they didn't happen. And he reached behind that pillow and he pulled out some lube and he was like, check this out, man. That to me is what happened. So it is what it is. So yeah, but I had saw something like him and not him, but like J-Tech had said something about him and stuff like that. So I mean, again, I'm not getting involved in that. Like I said before, I mean, I agree with Marlon when I did hear him say about who cares about platinum trophies. I agree with that. I'd rather be doing something else than chasing platinum trophies, but that's me. Other people care about that. So, but it is no measure of, I don't know. See, I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know if people are saying, well, because I've got these platinums, this means I play more. If that's, yeah, you do, and you act like that's a good thing. I mean, that's all I can really say. He said he keeps blue magic. He might. But you really got to understand why these guys are getting upset. I personally believe because people are finally calling bullshit on him, but that's my opinion, right? And I agree that if you think he's whatever, fill in the blank, then you shouldn't be listening to him. I agree. That's where I stand. I 100% agree with that. You should, if you don't agree with the way he's doing things, because it's his channel, if you don't agree with the way he's doing things, then you just don't listen to him. Okay? You don't have to listen to him. You don't have to respond to him. Just like, yeah, I'm pulling my support from him and I'm gonna go do something else with my time. So it's not that big a deal. So Sony out making them fanboys look silly. Yeah, they are. And they should. I 100 support Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz going ahead and, like I supported Phil Spencer when Phil Spencer came out and said, we can't compete with these guys. We're not going to outdo them. I'm like, yeah, I mean, he's telling the truth. And so I'm like, he shouldn't even apologize. I mean, when did we start apologizing for telling the truth? So, so, so who takes his games too seriously though? Again, with Capono, I've said this to be consistent. Somebody who does this for a living is going to treat what's going on differently than somebody who looks at it as a hobby. I've seen it. I used to build model airplanes. When I thought I was really good at building model airplanes. But when I saw some professionals that had submitted their work to the hobby shop that I was buying my planes at, I'm like, okay, I thought I was really good at this. I'm pond scum compared to what these guys. Somebody put together the entire STS, which is the space shuttle. It was the Columbia at the time. Somebody put it together. It stood about 3 feet tall and he said it took him 2 years to build it. 2 years. I'm like, there's no way. But again, I was just a little kid. I was like 8 years old when I was building, getting the glue on your fingers and then being scared my fingers going to be stuck together. I'd run and, I had to have a little dip water thing right next to me and towels and stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, it's his job, so he's going to take it seriously. So understand the collation there. His job is to do what he's doing, and then he comes out and says Sony's going to deliver this, and he wasn't the only one, okay? But then Sony didn't deliver what he said they were going to do. They did exactly what their press release said. And the only thing I would say to Marlon is, man, didn't you read the press release? Because either he did or he didn't. And based on the way he's acting, he didn't. And he's paying for it because people are calling him out. So again, that's my opinion on that. The gaming companies are putting out intellectual property as fast as they can. Microsoft is behind the times, but that's why Sony is outselling them almost 2-1, right? Like, yeah, y'all got to put some games out, man. And they're coming. Their games are coming. We're going to see them in a couple weeks, right? So you have to sit back and watch. So he's mad at Sony. My opinion, he's mad at Sony for not delivering on what he said they were going to deliver on. It's silly because he should have just read. He and others, I got to make sure it was a lot of people. He and others obviously didn't read what Sony put out. They obviously, all right? And that set them up to fail. Period. And it wasn't just him. It was TCMF. It was NIXIS. I think I'm saying that right. Again, we saw exactly what they said they were going to show, a glimpse of some stuff. We got like a 10-minute trailer. I don't know if you all have watched the Spider-Man trailer in 4K. I don't know if you've done that. I suggest you do it if you haven't. You had Marlon running around saying it had been downgraded. Then Digital Foundry came out on Wednesday and said, no, it's actually a lot better in every aspect. I'm paraphrasing. So again, why was he saying that? You ask yourself, why was he saying it was downgraded when he doesn't have the equipment to do that type of, I don't know, test? I mean, if you want to call it that. And again, I submit to the jury, and this is just speculation, that he's angry that Sony didn't deliver on what he was saying they would do. So he's, oh no, it's downgraded. I mean, we know when Spider-Man came out, how many of you all understand that was an alpha? I mean, that was an alpha build of that game. That was an early build of that game. Well, not super early. Maybe it was between an alpha and a beta, but it was an early build. I mean, how many times have we gone through this? In 2018, it was puddles, and these dudes ended up pissing their pants. So, we'll call them out. Kofi and Erica Cuts for the win. Remember that what they were saying is going to be etched on their gravestones. said Spider-Man in 2018 was downgraded. So I mean, again, it is what it is. That is a lifetime L. You know, when Kofi's son was born, shout out to Kofi. The first thing sentences he's gonna put together is, "Why did you say Spider-Man was downgraded?" Guarantee that's what his son's gonna say. So, but at the end of the day, you know this is wash, rinse, repeat. Sony makes games for PlayStation. The PC community wants to play them, can't do it day and date. They get mad, they bitch and moan like a woman getting cramps. Okay? Then the Xbox guys are talking about, you will rule the day. You don't put this on our console. So again, you should know this by now. Like, I don't even know why I got to keep talking about it. So it is what it is. This is wash, rinse, repeat. You know, downgrade it. It ain't going to be a long game. It's whatever. You know, and my understanding was what? Marlon was talking about Spider-Man today. How, you know, this, and this about Spider-Man. Dude, you were just tearing it down 48 hours ago. Fuck out of here. That's the way I look at it. Okay? What is there? The first part, they weren't ready to show. That's why that's why they weren't there. That's it. Don't make it any harder than that. Naughty Dog has put out 3 games and a friggin' TV show that's gonna probably win some Emmys. Guerrilla has put out a open world game along with DLC that is considered groundbreaking DLC. Again, not my words. Digital Foundry said that. I haven't played the DLC yet because I'm still playing the game, right? What else is out? Insomniac is working on their 4th project. Sony Santa Monica put out God of War. San Diego put out MLB. Poly whatever it is. Digital put out Polyphony Digital put out Gran Turismo. We're 3 years in. That is a shit ton of IP. So, but if you listen to fanboys, it's not. I mean, to me, I've talked to multiple people that are PlayStation gamers saying, yeah, I've got this huge backlog. Yeah. Look, I haven't even put in Resident Evil 4 yet, which, is getting VR capability. So, you know, it's from, you know, Sony released PlayStation VR with what, 35, 40 games on it? You know, so it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Oh, you're saying now the PlayStation decided people are donating and they're disputing? I didn't know you could do that. Okay. If that's what's happening, okay. Wow. So, True Virgil, Chocolate Thunder running out of lube on these guys. Yeah, again, look, because I came out of, when I'm covering information and stuff, out of the kind of the movie realm, if you're new here, this is kind of where I've came from. You don't disclose anything until you get multiple sources on it. That's just the way things work. And why multiple podcasters told you all this stuff was going to be there. They put their hopes on it, and some of them did apologize. I want to make that clear. Let me make this clear. I was listening to MBG, and he said, quote, I gassed up that press conference way more than I should have. Guess what? He's right. Grown ass man gotta make a bad call, you own the call. That's it. I own the call. I'm the one who made the call. You go for it on 4th and 1, you don't make it. The other team goes 40 yards and gets a field goal. Hey, I mean, you're gonna get, you know how it works. If you make the 4th and 1, brilliant coaching move. But if not, you're pond scum. That's the way it is. You know, that's the way it is. So it is what it is. But it is not up to me. I don't listen to Marlon Gaming Nation. People send me what you all call clips. Because I'm like, I didn't know you all could just send these short bursts like this on YouTube. I had no idea you could do that. I've seen YouTube shorts, but not clips, like edit clips. So, and it is what it is. It's messed up that he didn't do his own homework as a media member, because I pulled up that thing, you are invited. Like when I saw that and I read it, because they sent it to my because if you use PlayStation Direct, they have a link to one of my accounts. I have multiple accounts, emails, and that's where they sent it to. I'm like, oh, because remember I was saying 2 days before they said anything. I'm like, people keep on saying there's going to be a press conference. Ain't been no announcements yet. I'm the one who sat here and said that, right? Got to remember that. So also big shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. He's the one who made the call about not only the FSR stuff, but he also talked about that mobile device. And he also is the one, I believe, he also talked about the Pro coming in a couple years. So MGG is a big cry. Okay, but if you know he likes rumors and speculation, either you agree with that or you don't. And if you disagree with them on covering rumors and speculations, don't listen. This is not hard. You all act like somebody's got a gun to your head and they're forcing you to listen to people. They're not. I mean, there's a lot of people I don't listen to. I mean, even if I'm at work and my phone will vibrate like 3 times when somebody is on, I can't listen while I'm at work. So I will listen when I get home or later that evening or a day or two, something like that. So I'll listen then. He said a bunch of people disputed the charges by, wow, are you serious? Holy cow, if that is true, wow. Are you have got to be effing joking, right? So people, all right, I'm just trying to understand this. How can you dispute something that you did? I mean, like if I transfer $1,500 into, I don't know, one of my CDs or something like that, I can dispute that even though I did it? Is that what you're saying? So Lofi Gaming says, when I said Spider-Man looks better, they called me a pony. And now, like, you sound like Thanos. They called me a madman. Said they super chat. Oh my goodness. Man, y'all got me now. Oh man, that's terrible. Well, that's why I've always said donate what? A like and a share. Everything, that's it. You don't have to do nothing else. If you want to member up, I'm going to get my t-shirts out here pretty soon. You will get a free t-shirt. You do, however, have to pay for part of your shipping. Okay? So if you live in Denver, Colorado, and I go up here to FedEx and I'm sending, you'll have to give me your address or a P.O. box if you feel more comfortable doing that. If I say XYZ is a member and they are going to get and you want a t-shirt, that's something that's fine, but you're going to have to pay for half your shipping. You're going to have to make that commitment. And if it costs $13, I will literally email you and say, okay, your shirt's ready to come out. Hit me with the $7 and I'm going to send this out to you. That's what I'll do. But that's up to the members. That's a members only thing for the t-shirts. They're not going to come out to buy. They're just going to be kind of a special edition t-shirt, first edition, special edition t-shirt. And you all can wear them out. That's what I hope you do. You can wear them out. You can wear them in the bed when you're with the woman or the whoever of your dreams is there. You can wear it then, wear it at a baseball game, wherever you want to, because it'll be your shirt. You can wipe your butt with it. It's whatever you want to do. Like Eazy-E said, when NWA went to Detroit and they were booing them and breaking their records, he's like, they can do whatever they want because they bought them. So yeah, Nova Red, big fan of hip hop. Foxy Games came out and owned what he said. That's why I like Foxy, because that's why I like anybody. When you make a mistake and you man up, that's all we can do as men, right? You got to own it. So, but what I don't like is the doubling down and the flat out bullshit coming out of these people's mouths. And it is bullshit. Okay? So, Dadley Pierre, nobody here is saying Marlon's a bad man. Marlon's a Christian. He loves his family. That's where I leave it at. So this stuff that's here now that Capono and a disciple was saying, about people donated and pulled the money back. And I didn't even know you could do that. Because to me, it's an electronic transfer. And again, I don't know how to dispute stuff like that. Like I ordered Grubhub tonight and Grubhub was cold. So I know I can call the 800 number and say, look, my food was cold. So what are we going to do about it here? So I understand something like that, but damn, man, I didn't know you all could do that. I mean, it makes sense, but I just didn't know you could do that. Wow. So Reforged Gaming as well. Yeah, I like him too. Lono, yeah. Yeah. And Lono, I like what he said. He said the Xbox Series X, owners feel like they got jobbed. He's right. He's not saying that to bash Xbox. But the reason they felt like they got jobbed is because they didn't listen to the developers about the Series X. They listened to the fanboys, and that's going to lead you to being in the prison yard and Chocolate Thunder being your cellmate. Just don't listen to those guys and gals. Just listen to how can you go wrong listening to the movie studio? Listening to the developer. You see what I'm saying? You know, looks like they're saying Margot Robbie is going to play Susan Storm. And I don't know if you all heard that rumor, right? But the reason why a lot of people aren't running with this because Margot Robbie has not come out and confirmed it. The studio hasn't confirmed it. And Margot Robbie's publicist, I believe, has not confirmed it. So it's a big ass rumor. And you shouldn't run with it because what if it's not true and you did it anyway? So shout out to Mario. He put a $2. How about this is getting charged back to hashtag homosexual. Oh my God. There you go. I guess you can just call that in. How do you do that though? Because it's like when you super chat, because I've donated, it pops up in my Google feed, and that's it. I didn't know you could dispute. That's crazy, though. I did not know that. So now what are you all saying? Grown, yeah, okay, but if you donate to me, let's just say you donate $5, and then you totally disagree with what I said. I guess you what? I mean, I guess you look at it like, well, you don't lose the money.
This is getting charged back hashtag homosexual.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just can't believe people can do that. It's like you're disputing a credit card charge or something like that. Is that the way it goes? Wow. Comic Book said she is. I get that, but is that from her publicist or are they just reporting a rumor? You see what I'm saying? Nothing has come from Robbie's publicist, Robbie, or the studio making the movie. With that said, if you've got a link but to the publicist, send it to me. I'll be the first one on there to say, yeah, look, this is real. Hip Hop Gamer doesn't get enough credit. I agree 100%. Guy was bang on with PC remakes, no 4K 60 racing yet. Yeah, again, you're right. There's no doubt that there will be some 4K ray tracing games. I think Forza could be one of the first to do it. With that said, we have to wait and see because the game is already 4K native 60 on the old Xbox stuff. You know, that old hardware, GCN hardware, I think that's what it was called. So RDNA 2 should be able to run that game at 4K native with ray tracing, even if it's shadows, and sound. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And there's 4K. Well, it's not. I don't know. There's 4K 60 sound. So, but with anything PlayStation has, that doesn't mean we won't get something down the road, though. You're 3 years in. Yeah, you know, that's all I can say. So if a charge is still pending, then you can cancel it. So, all right, I didn't know that. Like, this is stuff that I'm learning today. So, is that why so many people are switching to Cash App or Venmo? Are you all seeing something like that? Or do you think more people are switching to Cash App? Shout out to everybody that's doing it. Shout out, rest in peace, the guy who used to be the owner or the CEO. He got murdered, I believe, or something like that. So rest in peace to him and his family. But yeah, wow. What did Hip Hop Gamers say about the handheld? I believe he said that we would get the PlayStation, then Sony was working on a handheld. He didn't know if they were going to fabricate it, of course. Fabricate it meaning actually physically make it. And then he said after that we would get a pro. So right now everything is moving exactly the way hip hop said it years ago. He told us about FSR 2.0. Shout out to him for that. He's got a lot right, and you can make up your mind on why he doesn't get the credit he does. But us here, I definitely try to give him credit whenever I can. So want to try to get him on the show, but man, it's summertime and he's got a lot of stuff going on. You all know he had a billboard up in Times Square. Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. He had a billboard up in Times Square. So come on, man. If you're gonna, I understand if you want to say you don't like something, you have the absolute right to say you don't like. But can we give men credit when there's credit due? It's fine, okay? All right. So, I'm not a fan of Kevin McCarthy, the Republican Speaker of the House, but he cut a deal to help get the debt ceiling paid down. That's good. I give credit where credit is due. Good job by him. He has to figure out a way to pay the bills. If you don't understand our debt ceiling, these are bills that Trump's presidency, Pence, this is bills that they made, and they're fighting not paying them. They're supposed to be fiscally conservative, and that means you got to pay your damn bills. So I don't know why they haggle. They did, okay, fine, but I don't care for McCarthy, but I give credit where credit is due, okay? So it is what it is. So that's all I'm saying. And like I said, when Foxy Games said he was wrong about the presser, he owned it. He came out and he said, I was wrong about this. Okay, that's all people can ask you of who are following you, who are listening to you, they're supporting you. Because, how's it going to look, you being a hypocrite? Yeah, I know there's a bunch of men out there who are never going to admit that they're wrong. But they not men as far as I'm concerned. You all know what I call those guys. So be honest with your audience, and your audience will reward you with their most precious gift, which is their time. Okay? And if you lie to them and you lead them astray, they're not going to follow a false prophet. We know what happens to false prophets. I don't care if you're Hindu. I don't care if you're Muslim or Christian. We know what happens to false prophets. So it is what it is. Somebody needs to get a supplement. Yeah, come on now, Paul. We don't have to do ad hominems here. They said he was mad. I didn't even know. I don't know why you would be mad, but okay. Are people calling him out on stuff? I don't know. Are people pulling? You said people pulling donations. I can't believe it. That's all I'm just saying, I can't believe it. Wow. So, it is what it is. They're going to Cash App route because it's final when sending money. Okay, so you can't dispute a Cash App. Okay. That's what I was saying. I've seen a lot of people do Venmo and Cash App. So, okay, it is what it is. Capono said you want a B2 shirt. Okay. I'm going to make like 3 different shirts, 3 different styles. We're going to have some tank tops for the ladies as well. But the ladies have to, again, the way this works is I'm just going to print up like 10 shirts. And if you want a different shirt, there's going to be 3 shirts. And then you're going to have to, I'll show them, and I'll say, if you want one, just hit me up on whatever, Twitter or something. And, we'll get it to you. It's no problem. No problem. So yeah, Hip Hop Gamer ain't getting the credit at this point. He needs to change his name to Country Music Gamer. He want a Chocolate Thunder tank top. Well, okay, you have to. I don't even know how to make something like that. I'll have to try to make something up. So yeah, but we'll get it done. I promise you. I've been saying it. I know you've been like, but we had a pandemic, so and I kind of use that as an excuse not to do it. You know what I'm saying? But pandemic's over, so we survived. Oh man, the Chocolate Thunder tank top. That is pretty crazy though. But yeah, go work out in them, and people ask you what it is, you let them know. So that's all. It's kind of advertising. You become like walking, so you know you'll be like a walking billboard for the podcast. So, so I agree. Paul Game said they're not doing anything to Marlon. He did it to himself. Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, the first thing you could have done was come out and said, I gassed up, I ginned up that presser way more than it should be, and I won't be doing anything with that like that again. I think that goes over much better than what he did, which is double down and pretty much try to blame Sony for his F up. So that's trash right there. So white zaddy speedos. Yes, the Chocolate Thunder must wear the tank tops before you get them. When you put them on, you feel the essence of double life. Oh man. Outsider Gaming is right. False prophets get stoned with rocks. So this was bound to happen to all of them. So just you gotta own when you're wrong. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means, yeah, maybe you took this, but you gotta understand, guys, there's people like that. It's like, if you go out hunting and you kill an 8-point deer, there's somebody's gonna say, I killed a 10-point deer. That's just the way people are wired, man. So acting like a fanboy. Okay, well, like I said, you don't have to attack. He was wrong about stuff. Let's just leave it there. Yes, and as a customer, a consumer, I guess you can now voice your displeasure by pulling I'm telling you, a lot happens when you pull your money out, man. A lot can happen, man. So you stop supporting people financially. Look what happened to Budweiser with all that stuff. Called themselves the king of beers. They're losing tree fitting because of that stuff. Same with Target. They lost money. I mean, they're gonna get the money back, but Budweiser going into like I said, they're Budweiser, at least in my city, they talking about they may go on the bottles, the 12-ounce bottles, single bottles, they may be 3 for $5 because of what's happening. So it is what it is. Oh, he said he was taking. Oh, again, like I said, I don't listen. But Nova Red Bonjour says that he said that he is taking his L. Okay, no, that's it. Fine. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. You guys are the judge of that because you still listen. I don't listen. So, I got other things to do. So, YouTube seems like a bad business partner. They take they slice. I don't know if you all play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. They like when Sony came down to tax your businesses. You all know what I'm talking about if you played Vice City, right? When Sony came down to put to the end of the game, he comes down to tax your businesses. So that's what YouTube does, right? So, but YouTube gives you what you're signing up for. You don't have to partner with them. A lot of people don't, and they just do, like I said, Cash App and Venmo. YouTube don't get none of that money. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have a Cash App, but I forgot what it is. So, but yeah, I may try Cash App over the summer just to see if anything happens. So maybe somebody will donate tree fitty. I don't know. So Nova Red says bonjour. So so yeah. They put the squeak. Well, only if you're partnered with them, yeah. Well, he's always taking L. Yeah, well, people take L's, man. I mean, a lot of them took L's. I mean, just think of all the people who ginned it up. They took an L. But back to the first party output, my point here is that Sony's had plenty of first party output. They don't have, well, I can't say me personally, this is just me speaking. I'm not speaking for nobody else. So shout out to Optimus Code. I don't need to see anything else from their first party until until I go in there and, if you want to say, well, Spider-Man needs a release date or release window, to me, it doesn't, but what do you all think? Do you think Sony at the, wherever, Summer Gaming Fest, okay, Do you think that they need to put a release date out for Spider-Man? See, I think they're going to hold it until the Xbox press conference, if at all. If at all. So that's just my opinion. But this is, what do you all think? Do you think they need a release date for Spider-Man? Do you think Spider-Man should be delayed? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you all think, right? So, and again, remember, I was told that that there was a major game Sony had that was being delayed. I thought it was Spider-Man, but it turned out it was the Factions or Fractions game, whatever it's called. So, it opening and only fanboys this summer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Like I said, what do you all think about it? I mean, this is, like I said, I want you all's opinion on it. There are no right or wrong answers. It's just an opinion. Do you think Sony's first party output over the last 3 years has been good enough, okay, or below standard? Now, I'm going to say to you that they've had more in 3 years with the PS5 than they had the first 3 years of PS4. So, what was your opinion of the PS4 if you bought one at launch? Now, I didn't get a PS4. It took me 5 months. I think the PS4 came out in November, and I didn't get my hands on one until like income tax time. So for me, that was like March. And I walked into Toys R Us. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Toys R Us, and if I can't find one at Toys R Us, I'm going to just get an Xbox. So my friend called me 8 o'clock in the morning. Man, did you get that Xbox yet? I'm like, nah, Toys R Us don't open until 10 o'clock. And I walked in there and got a PlayStation. So, now remember, you can leave a message in the comment section when we're done. Okay. So, depends on what you all think. I mean, for me, it's been very good. It's been much better than what they did on PS4, but that's my opinion. So moving to the next story, and I saw other people talking about this, and we just went through this a few years ago. Now Sony is abandoning the single player gaming genre. This is old news. I'm like, why are people still talking about this? This shit was settled years ago, and you still got people putting themselves on cameras with headsets on, with calling the B2, whatever, and then they want to sit up there and tell you this stuff. This is simply not true. It's not true. I do believe, however, and I said this on 60 Frames No Lag to I forgot who it was. But I said, do you think the PC games that do you think the Sony games that are the smaller games that are going to be games as a service, do you think they're going to go to PC day and date? And it was like, yeah, I mean, I've always thought that. Factions is deleted for good. Possibly. We'll have to wait and see if they come back to it. I don't see what the big deal about that game is, though, but that's just me, right? I'd rather play The Division, I'm saying, I'm putting my own thing out there. I just don't, but a lot of people swear by factions. So, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't, with that game, but Bungie is in charge of that. That's one reason they bought Bungie. They wanted their talent. Bungie, whether I like it or not, has one of the most successful games as a service ever. They do. And Sony owns them. So people gotta remember that. And then people can say, well, they're a multiplayer company. Yeah, part of the deal, you want the talent, then we're still gonna make games for everybody. Now, there still may be some games they do. I think the project they're working on now may only be on PlayStation, but we'll have to wait and see. You sold your PS5 and only play on PC. That's cool, as long as you're having fun, right? So as long as you're having fun, until they get into become more diverse in their first party. Okay, yeah, I mean, you're a consumer. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Now, Daddy Bear says, right, he claims it's not all about the money, knowing damn well he need to keep the lights on by any. Again, you all got to figure that out on your own. Like I said, again, somebody who does this for a living, I'm talking about social media stuff, is going to profoundly need stuff to talk about. That's just the way this works. Okay. Like I said, I watch couples on YouTube that have over 1 million subs, right? And they do pranks, they do all kind of whatever thing is of the day is. You know, they do stuff like that. So it is what it is. Jeeves said, yeah, I agree. MLB The Show, MLB, Gran Turismo, Ratchet and Clank, Ragnarok, Forbidden West. Yeah, sounds pretty diverse to me. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. You know, so Bungie helping with factions. Apparently, yeah, apparently. But again, they're in charge of it. They in charge. They the commander in chief of all that stuff. So that's one reason why the deal went through, is because Sony was like, yeah, we don't just want to bring you in as a first party studio. We want to put you in charge of these future projects and have them under your umbrella, under your watchful eye. You know, it's kind of like when Moses, brought in Ethiopia to guard Egypt's flank. And, his brother was like, well, the Ethiopian army is not very disciplined. And Moses turned around and said, you're correct, my brother. But under your steady hand, under your tutelage, they have the chance to become the pride of Seti. And, he was like, they'll become the finest army under Seti's hand. It was something like that. And that's what they did with Bungie. So Xbox said Marathon is on their platform. Well, I'm not talking about Marathon. It was something else Bungie's working on. It's a smaller project. So it's something else they're working. Bungie's a huge studio. So, but yeah, I mean, they're a multi-platform game developer. I don't know what else to say about it. So it's definitely always about the money. Yeah. It's always business. It's not personal. But again, that's why one of the things when Marlon said that, Sony's not giving me no information, so I can't get you hype. That translates in my mind as, because he understands that the more excited you are, the more likely you are to spend money. That is actually a sales fact, a psychological fact. This is why I said to you guys before, why do you think they want to start playing Christmas music right after Halloween? I mean, your kids ain't even got their damn candy sorted and they start playing Christmas music. It's because they know that will put you in a better mood. And if you're in a better mood, you will overspend. It's not that you won't just spend, you will overspend. Okay. Remember what I was going to pay for a TV, $1,000. I wasn't going no higher, but I was in a good mood that day. I was hopping and skipping. I had a little chub going on when I was in Best Buy, and I pulled out the wad and I was like, oh, all right. Cause remember, I wasn't going to get this TV, right? You all know what I was getting. I was going to get the 95 or something like that. I was still going to get an LED. But then we literally were walking, and had we walked a different way, I wouldn't have bought this TV I got. And I saw that TV and it was like a little over 1,000. It was like 1,000 and some change. He was like, no, that's only $999. I'm like, what? That's an OLED and it's it's 55 inches? He said, yeah. And I looked at the C1. The C1 was sitting there looking all sad. And I'm like, well, what the C1, how come it costs more money? And he said, I don't know. He said, LG, this is the B2. This is a better panel. It has overall better light, but it's just something they're trying to get people into OLED. And the price to get into the club is $1,000. Like John Wick, he had those coins to get into the Continental or whatever the name of that hotel was. He had those coins. He had a ton of those. He had a shit ton of those coins, but he had all those coins, right? So he was gonna pay the cost to be the boss, right? So I was not going to get a TCL. I think I was going to get a Bravia, but it wasn't going to be an OLED. I was going to get one. I think I was going to get the 90. I needed to get something better than the 85. Okay, so I can't remember if it was a 90 or maybe it was a 95. I can't remember. I didn't go to Best Buy planning to get what I got. Put it like that. So Mr. Deception says they pull out Christmas stuff. Yes, and the reason they do it is to put you in a better mood. I don't care if it's the radio. I don't care if you go to a grocery store, a mall. They will be fitting in. You walk through Macy's in October, they got Christmas stuff out. It's like, gee, maybe it was the 90J. Maybe it was that one. So maybe because I looked at the 42-inch OLED that they had. I'm like, that looks good too. This was the Sony OLED, but it was like $1,600. I'm like, no way. LCD, you mean LED? Yeah, I haven't had an LCD TV in years. So, but yeah, you're right. It is hard to go. It's hard to look at, and these LED TVs, like they're on sale at Best Buy. They had a 60-something inch screen LED TV for $4.99. It was $4 something. It was an LG. So it was an LG. So I used to say it was a sell. Well, I'm just saying that understand that's the way sales work. You know, that's why they always call you for why again, why all right. Think about the Salvation Army and how they sit up at different spots. People are hurting the whole year. Okay? They're not just hurting in the holiday season, but they know the people are more giving around the holidays. They just are. All right? Because you're in a better mood. Family's around, your friends are there. All these TV shows are on talking about Christmas stuff. So it's just the way we are socially programmed. So it is what it is. So, I mean, it's not a diss on nobody. I gotta keep saying that. So, but you all keep bringing this to my attention, and I keep saying you don't have to. But if this new one of people pulling their super chat money was that's new information. Okay, I did not even know you could do that. So wow, Black Friday has consumed Thanksgiving. Well, remember, Black Friday now is a whole week. Okay, it's a whole week. And why is it a whole week? Because people complain. I work in healthcare. I couldn't get off on Black Friday. That's the day after Thanksgiving. Everybody wanted that day off. So you couldn't get that day off. And so I couldn't go into the stores to make purchases. Because I couldn't go in and make purchases, I missed out on a whole lot of sales. But now, at least where I live, Macy's and Target and GameStop and Best Buy and whoever else, okay? They have Black Friday starting Monday all the way through Sunday. They do it Monday morning or something like that till Sunday night at midnight. And as long as, it doesn't matter if they're sold out of something, as long as you go in there and you have the receipt, when it comes in, you will get it for that price. Okay, but you got to have your receipt. So the X90J is perfect other than some blooming when it had an angle. Yeah, it may have been the 90. It was the Sony. Because it may have been that because it was a step up from the X85 and it just had more features. It had a much wider gambit on HDR and SDR. It had better speakers. That's the one thing about the LG TVs you got to understand is that the speakers are always not good. I mean, they're just not. This is where the Sony TV is just better. Okay, it's just better. But I would expect Sony to have better sound because they're a friggin' sound company. So, look, there ain't no beef, no juice, okay? Because he'll say, why is he listening? And I don't. Why are people brought it to my attention? This is if it gets back to him. People brought it to my attention. And yeah, you just, instead of doubling down on what happened, you just need to stand up and man up and take your loss, take it like a man and be done with it and just never do it again. That's it. If you want your audience, like I did with you guys, to make a bunch of predictions and then you talk about it, that's fine. But if you're media, you need to be neutral anyway and stay out of that shit. So you just do. Because now you got all this stuff happening. So They price themselves out. Not really. If you can afford it, go get it. If you can't, you don't. That's what they'll tell you. You know, it's like if you go to a BMW lot and you start asking how much the cars are. That they literally understand. If you have to ask them how much it costs, then you can't afford it. It's like in the movie Zero Dark 30 when he went to, I think he went to Saudi Arabia, that one CIA guy, and he bought that guy a Lamborghini. He didn't go up there and say, well, how much does this car cost? He looked at it. He looked at the car. That dude was like, I think I'll take this Lamborghini, because he wanted information on you know who, Osama bin Laden, okay? And he wanted information, and he was like, well, you want information? You're going to give me this car? As soon as he picked the car out, he didn't say, how much does this cost, man? Oh, that's too much. He looked at the guy and said, yeah, we'll take this. So, again, it is what it is. You pay for a premium product. Exactly. When I go see movies, I go see it in XD. It costs more money, right? Because that's a premium, that's considered premium seating versus the standard seating. Now, I would pay, if I wasn't comped in, I would be paying $22 a ticket. But I get comped, all right? Why do I get comped? I can't remember last time I paid for a movie. Like I literally don't have to pay for movies. So, you know, when people say, well, it's expensive to go to the movies. Well, not for me. I haven't paid for a movie in maybe since when I went to see Avengers Endgame. I did pay for that. I did pay for Avengers Endgame, but that's the last movie I paid for. So I have not paid for nothing else. I've not paid for any MCU movie ever until Endgame. And MCU's been around since 2008. So I can go see movies now for free. I can't. You know, it is what it is. But PlayStation YouTube channel always showing trailers of game. 1 hour ago, a game called The Silent. Yeah, you're right. They got Alone in the Dark. That's an actual PC game that came to. I mean, have you all seen the early talk on Gray Hill Incident? That game is looking pretty effing creepy. So I'm gonna be streaming that stem to stern movie master race. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, MMR. But yeah, just so you all know, that game I will be streaming still. But there are people with early access that said this game is really good. Now, of course, I like it because I'll be playing that with headphones on. I'll probably be getting scared because they did say it does have some jump scares in it. Like, ugh. So, someone's getting a PS-5 for Helldivers and an Xbox for Nail Polish. Ugh. 2 free tickets to The Little Mermaid. All right, well, yeah. I saw The Little Mermaid. I enjoyed it. I gave it a B. It's fine. I mean, I still think the best Disney cartoon to live action is The Jungle Book. That blew me the F away when I was watching that. Like, holy cow. But a lot of people will argue. They'll say The Lion King is the best. But it's fine. It's fine. So, yeah, Apple is expensive because they claim it's a premium product. And you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. BB King said that, man. BB King never lied. In the song, I paid the cost to be the boss. He also said that you took a fine time to leave me Lucille. So, but I'm just saying, it's Sony's not leaving the single player market because that's where most of their money has been made. But these guys act like they're not allowed to go out and do anything else. So it reminds me we'll talk about a hip hop story here, not hip hop gamer, a hip hop story. Maybe you've heard of a hip hop label called Def Jam. They had signed this group, these 3 white guys named the Beastie Boys. And the Beastie Boys was the opening act for Run DMC. And they would get the crowd all charged up. Perfect opening act. All right. They come out with their own album, License to Ill. It does very well. They feel like they got some swag. They got some power. They walk into a young executive named Russell Simmons. They walk into his office and they say, we would like to try to do some different stuff. And Russell Simmons like, no. Or, I mean, okay. Russell Simmons says no. we want you to keep doing exactly what you've been doing. So this is why if you listen to License to Ill and then you listen to the Beastie Boys' second album, I think it's called Paul's Boutique, it sounds totally different because what the Beastie Boys did was genius. They had to stay on Def Jam, but they got to choose where they recorded. These three guys, shout out to them, went to California and was out there having a ball. And it was being charged back to Def Jam Records. And they finally got what they wanted. You know, so, but, you know, that's my whole point here is that these guys act like Sony doesn't get to do different stuff, man. And this is why they're podcasters and they're trash ass podcasters at that. But this is why they're podcasters and they're not CEOs or CFOs or COOs because they can't see 10 years down the road. Sony and Microsoft, they're successful companies because they know you want stuff before you even know you want the stuff. Okay, Mark, and all this stuff going on with Grubhub and what else we got here? Uber Eats and all that kind of stuff. DoorDash. Mark Cuban, yes, that same Mark Cuban, the billionaire, he said on Shark Tank years ago, we're going to go to an a la carte economy. And the reason why he's where he is because he sees trends like this coming. So now that's exactly what you have, an a la carte economy. So, you know, so you can either listen to people who know what they're talking about, and I behoove that's what you do, or you can just keep on running around in circles and you'll end up like these podcasters who don't know shit from Shinola. You end up in the yard, then Chocolate Thunder, who runs that block, picks you out, and then next thing you know, you showing him your papers, and he's like, man, I got double life. I ain't never getting out. So... Herman and Jim did a good job. Yeah, okay, the PC stuff. Didn't Mark Cerny himself come out and endorse multiple M2 drives so that when Sony put their PS5 games on PC, it would run better? And then these clowns went out and he's like, Cerny's like, yeah, these will work in your PS5 right now. These dudes went out, took Amazon screenshots for the M2 drives. Remember they were paying $199 for 1 terabyte? It was something like that. Maybe it was high. And remember those guys on Twitter? Hey, look at what I bought. Ha, 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 I have this. All right, that's what they were saying. But now Mark Cerny's like, it's time to start moving. Mark Cerny's like, it's time to start moving these games over to PC because they've got enough saturation with these M2 drives or whatever they were called. Because I don't have one, right? That's why I always complain about what's my PlayStation mean must clear up space. Like, because I just have the regular whatever it has in it, the 812 or something like that. I don't have the 1 TB. So I do have a B2, but not 1 TB. All right, y'all got to figure that out yourselves. So these guys did that, okay? But now we're 2 years past when these SSDs were built. The games are going to start coming over, and it ain't going to be Sony's fault if you got the wrong hardware. It won't be. It won't be, well, they're lazy and they just don't feel like doing it. No. And you saw who was bringing over Ratchet and Clank, right? You saw that. It's Nix's. That is their top port studio to PC. They the boss hog, okay? They the HNIC of this stuff that gets ported over. That's the only stuff. If I was a PC guy, I would buy the stuff that Nix's ports. I wouldn't touch nothing else. Like, I was surprised that Naughty Dog and Sony let that other group port The Last of Us. Nix's should be porting all that stuff over. Sony does, in my opinion, may need to, if Nix's is overburdened, Sony may need to either bring in more people or buy another PC porting studio. So, but these fanboys, again, what makes me upset is that Sony announces exactly what they say they're going to have, and then instead of them just saying, okay, this is what they're doing, it's okay to disagree with what they're doing because you're a consumer. But if all you're going to do is bitch like a woman and you're supposed to be a grown-ass man, why don't you get rid of your shit? That's just me personally. You know, I you can say, hey, I don't like this, what they're doing, but you know, it is what it is. But these guys don't do that. It's not right. That's what they sound like. That's what they sound like. So, I mean, to me, I don't know what they sound like to you, but yeah. But that's all I have for you folks. So remember Saturday, roughly 1 o'clock or so. That reserve that time. Go get you a lemonade or an adult beverage, because the goal, if these women give me their 10 more questions, we'll have about 25, 26 questions. And I'll be on Stream Labs or StreamYard. I'll be on StreamYard on Saturday, and those questions will be put out for all to see. Well, again, under anonymity, I'm not going to say, here's who gave me this question. I'm going to say, woman number 1 asked this, woman number 2 asked this, okay? So, and then we're going to go through it, and then we're going to break it down, like I said before. And if those women are listening, they're going to get their feelings hurt, because these conversations have already been had by men years ago, even during the pandemic. And a lot of women either did not listen to their fathers, which is probable, or their fathers didn't tell them, which is possible. So, but you got a lot of goofy women running around out here at this point. So, but all right then, we're going to go ahead and get on off here. It's about 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and drink a little bit more water and get ready to go to bed. PC is another market to sell game. Yeah. Yeah. And again, the girl that I'm dating, she plays mobile games, but she plays on that phone. She plays on this phone, something called Heroes Guild or Hero Wars. It's something like that. It's some goofy looking guy running around doing stuff. So, but that's what she plays, right? She sits there, I don't know how, in Indian style. Is that what they call it? Somehow she can sit Indian style in a freaking high chair. A friggin' high chair. This, or not high chair, bar stool. But it looks like she's in a high chair. But she's in a bar stool. She can sit up on a bar stool and sit Indian style. That's just how tiny she is, though. So, to be an adult and don't charge back super chat, there, I guess. I mean, man, I can't believe that's the all-time OMG for me. I didn't know people had donated money to him, and then how wait a minute. A question before I get off here, because I just piqued my interest. How do you all know that that's what people are doing? Okay, I mean, how do you all know that's what people are doing? Did like he come out and say that? I mean, I'm asking, did he come out and say that people are pulling their super chat money back? Or like, how do you all know that? So, I mean, because if that is true, then holy freaking cow, they've got a roadmap for the console. I mean, I don't understand. Like, for the rest of the year, I know what they're doing. And how do I know what they're doing? And you all should know that. I mean, good grief, we're in the summertime. Summer, I mean, you got Final Fantasy coming out, Street Fighter's coming out, Mortal Kombat's coming out, Justice League versus whatever, Suicide Squad, and that game coming out if you want to play that game. Spider-Man is allegedly coming out. I'm just simply saying, if I know that, I don't see what the big deal is. Oh, he did it today. Wow. Holy cow. Holy cow. All right, well, with that, I'm going to get on off then. I will see. So Saturday morning, I'm going to get some more information, hopefully on Comcast, on what they're going to possibly do. And then if that other podcast works out, I hope to see some of you guys here. I don't expect to see you all. Nova Red, you're the Nova Red and Ice Queen, of course, can be there. They're the two residential beautiful ladies representing the podcast, so they can sit back and chill. But yeah, and Garudia Legends, you better be there too, because and also Garudia, I am gonna start doing my summer series on UFO and UAPs. There's a whole lot of information that's come out, and I promised myself I would get back into it. So look for that summer series to start probably in a few more weeks. Look for the week of the, matter of fact, maybe the 10th. around 7 o'clock, maybe is what I'm shooting for. So, yeah, Final Fantasy 16. Oh, Grand Blue Fantasies. I forgot all about that. Yeah, Helldivers. Yep. There you go. Yeah, that's personally, that's your roadmap for this year. But I get it. These guys want something to talk about. And since they're bitch made, they aren't talented enough to sit down and talk about anything else but this. And if Sony doesn't give them their information, this is what's wrong when you're dependent on somebody else for your information. It is you need to be able to get other stuff and talk about other stuff. But anyway,